Thank you, Chair. Chair, some senators will tell you that the Senate, as it currently stands, does need to be abolished. And that's why they argue instead that it must be reformed immediately for checks and balances, they say, for our democracy. But we could spend the next 4 years in this chamber trying to reform the Senate. At the end of that time, the real problems with democracy in this country would not have been addressed. Our democratic deficit that we have here would not have been corrected. Because the problems for democracy in this country lie in large part in this chamber. Now, it may just be somewhat paradoxically, and Deputy Deering referred to this, that the greatest reform we could make to this chamber would be to make a reform outside at another layer, at the layer of local government. But because we are debating Dáil reform, I will keep my comments to this topic. From my brief time here, I do believe that I can make some observations that may help us as we continue over the next 4 years in the term of this government to make our time here more meaningful. Now, I make these comments in the full knowledge that not many people are listening, and that's part of the problem. I also make these comments because knowing that they are just ideas, that they need to be fleshed out through debate, but that we won't be afforded that opportunity in this chamber. And that's part of the problem too. It bothers me that speaking time in this chamber is divided equally between parties and groups, and not between elected members. I don't think it's right that individuals who are elected to this chamber should have to be excluded from a debate because there isn't time because it wasn't distributed between the parties and groups properly. Time on a given debate or on any issue should be divided between those who want to speak on it accordingly. I also don't think it's right that people come in here and use certain standing orders or rules of procedures to raise issues in the Dáil that they know cannot be addressed, just so they can go back to their constituents and say, I raised this issue in the Dáil. It serves no purpose. It does nothing. It's Potemkin politics, and it's a waste of everybody's time. Matters on the adjournment of the House also, in my opinion, can fall into this category. To be able to come in here and to be able to raise an issue with a minister and to get a reply is no small thing. But if we can't then question that reply from the minister, what's the point? I think we serve then as postmen and women. We might as well write a letter or an email. If we cannot question the authority, if we cannot question the answer that comes back to us, then I think we're wasting our time because there's no debate there. What struck me most from my time on Dublin City Council was that I would often go into the chamber to vote on an issue, not knowing which way I was going to vote beforehand. And through the actual debate that we had on that issue, through the power of people's words and the constructive engagement that they had, I was forced to move one way or the other. And that is a powerful thing. I tried myself to take part in certain debates as well and to move others with my own words. And that too is a powerful thing. And I found over the course of my time here that often was the case that through our constructive engagement with each other, our decisions and our actions were all the better for the fact that we had that debate. We had to know our stuff, we had to be able to stand up and defend it, and we couldn't hide behind the party line. And that was because there was no party whip. There used to be free votes in this chamber, and I think we should consider, because I think it has much merit, returning to that system whereby we would be able to vote based on the issues, based on the debate that we had, because then we would have to take decisions, take positions, and be able to defend them in this chamber. And that's important. We need to transform this chamber into a debating chamber, where opinions are given but where they are also heard, where through constructive engagements on all sides of the House, we can do collectively for this country what none of us can do individually. And I think that's the root of parliamentary democracy, and that's the checks and balances, and we need it here in Dáil Éireann. Strong democratic governments require strong parliaments, require strong opposition. But nothing as I see it so far in the operation of this chamber lends itself to that. We have seen this chamber in the past used as a vehicle for the executive to legitimise its actions, and that hasn't served anyone well at all. And I and the government, Fine Gael and Labour, are committed to changing that. But I think we all are as well. And that's why I commend this motion, because it gives us time to discuss these issues and to try and find agreement, even though it's not proper debate. Not at all. Thank you. But it is so important that we do it together, because the benefits will accrue not just to each of us as individual representatives in the work that we try to do and the benefits we try to gain from our work, but they'll also accrue to the country as a whole, because politics will have improved, because better decisions will have been made on behalf of the people of this country who we represent. We are fortunate to have the parliamentary system that we have, so please let us use it as it's meant to be used. As a place not just of great speeches, and there have been some great speeches since I have been here from all sides of the House, but as a place of great debate, and as such, as the seat of responsible, accountable and proper decision-making in this country. I do commend this motion because it has afforded us time to discuss this, and I wish us all the very best in our endeavours as we set out to achieve what so many of us promised we would achieve in the recent election campaign to improve politics in this country. And it has to start here in this chamber. And I know through our collective will and our actions, we can do it. Thank you.